In the small, sleepy town of Willow's End, a dense fog always seemed to settle just before dusk. Cloaked in the vine-woven embrace of its namesake trees, the town carried with it an eerie old-world charm that whispered secrets of a bygone era. The townsfolk often talked about the willow trees as if they were alive, listening and watching, an idea dismissed by anyone beyond its borders, for who believes in haunted trees? It was on a particularly clammy evening that Emily, an eager young journalist from the city, decided to visit Willow's End. She had heard rumors of strange happenings, voices carried by the wind, and shadows that moved without origin. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily arrived armed with her notebook and a stubborn disbelief in the supernatural. Her first stop was the town's library, a decrepit building draped in dust as thick as the secrets it housed. There, she found Agnes, the venerable librarian who had lived in Willow's End for over 80 years. Agnes spoke in hushed tones, recounting tales of those who had vanished into the fog and warnings of the old willow trees standing guard over the town. "Pay heed to the whispers," Agnes warned, her eyes clouded with memories. "The trees, they're not what they seem. They've soaked up years of sorrow, and sometimes they give it back." Emily dismissed the warning, chalking it up to local superstition. That night, however, as she lay restless in her cramped-in room, whispers slithered through the cracks of the window, a susurrus of words clawing at the edges of comprehension. Driven by a haunting curiosity, Emily ventured out into the fog. The tendrils of mist curled around her feet, pulling her towards the grove of willows at the edge of town. As she approached, the air grew heavy, laced with a chilling undercurrent of despair. The whispers grew louder, weaving into an anguished symphony that echoed through her mind. She stopped before the largest willow, its branches coiled like twisted fingers reaching for the heavens. The whispers seemed to bleed from the very bark, resonating with ancient pain. Emily pressed her hand against the tree's gnarled trunk, an icy cold blossoming from the contact. Her vision blurred and blackened as she felt herself being drawn into the depths of the whisper's realm. When Emily awoke, she was surrounded by shadows, figures of those who had disappeared, eternally trapped between worlds, prisoners of the willow's sorrow. They pleaded silently, gestures and expressions frozen in time, as if the air itself was held captive by everlasting grief. Realization hit her like a tidal wave. These souls, lost and forgotten, were bound to the willows by their own unheeded whispers. Emily's skepticism crumbled, and a cold terror wrapped around her psyche, squeezing like an ever-tightening vice. In desperation, she tried to pull away, but the willow's grip was relentless. The whispers grew deafening, a cacophony of regret and longing that threatened to consume her very being. It was the dawning light that saved her, breaking through the fog like a salvation she hadn't dared hope for. As the first rays of sun pierced through the grove, the ethereal chains holding her loosened, and Emily found herself stumbling away, breathless and shaken. With the retreat of night, the whispers faded, leaving only the haunting silence of the willow grove. When Emily returned to the town, she carried with her the weight of a secret she could never explain without sounding mad. And as Willow's End retreated in her rearview mirror, Emily vowed never to return. Yet, even miles away, she couldn't escape the lingering echo of the whispers, a chilling reminder that some secrets are best left in the fog. And in the heart of Willow's End, the trees stood silent once more, biding their time until the next curious soul wandered too close, drawn by the whispers in the willow.